Compete Radio with your host, Josh Fourier, Buddy Early with the news, Alfonso Chavez with Sports Pop, Connie Wardman with Ask Connie, and Eric Carlisle with Hot Topics. Compete Radio.
Hey, thanks so much and welcome to the big show. It's December 17th, 2010. I'm your host, Josh Fourier. We're here with Alfonso Chavez, Connie Wardman, Buddy Early, Eric Carlisle, and of course, the guy that runs it all, Jay, our engineer. It's a very special show we have today, everyone. Michael Holtz, Athlete of the Year for 2010, Compete Magazine, is here with us, going to be joining us for the second half of the show, and we're very excited about that. He's going to be speaking to Eric. Eric has some questions for him, good and dirty, right?
We are so excited. I'm excited. And I know Josh is excited. I'm a witness to that. So.
I can only imagine the kinds of questions Eric has for Michael.
Most of them I can't ask on the air, by the way.
Well, I asked him before the show. I said, is there anything we really shouldn't ask you about? He said, no, I'm an open book. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm turning my question sheet around, everybody.
I might regret that.
That frightens me that you shared that information.
No, it's the end of the year. Almost 2011. It's been a crazy year, but it's time to review what's gone on. So, buddy, what do you have for us?
Anybody who really knows me knows that I love three things: sports,
True,
Broadway musicals,
Beer.
Well, four things.
Yeah.
And lists. People know that I love lists.
Buddy is a list
Now, that
guy.
lisps with
That's
a P
true.
or lisps with a V there, buddy?
A little of both.
And while we're not going to talk about Broadway musicals today, I thought I'd kind of give a list, so to speak, of what went down in sports this year, because we have a couple of shows still coming up in 2010, but we've got some other neat things planned for those shows. So I wanted to just talk about what happened in the sports world this year, in case we forgot. And, of course, my favorite sport is...
Ta-da.
Football.
Thank you. Football started out this year, January 7th, in Pasadena, Texas and Alabama in the BCS championship game.
And we still don't know what BCS is.
Yeah, we do. It's
Bowl
Championship
Bowl
Series.
Yes,
I
I
don't know what it
forgot.
is.
Well, I'm blonde.
There were two
What
undefeated
can you
teams
say?
meeting in the national championship game. Alabama won 37-21, which was fine with me because I'm kind of a Texas hater,
Then how is it that you're a big Cowboys fan? Come on.
Isn't that odd?
Yeah,
It is.
That
It's
is
a
odd.
chicken fried steak for me.
It's
there,
Cowboys, and then the rest of the state can.
Oh.
Come on, Houston
secede from the
and
union.
Okay, all you
Buddy.
listeners in
Buddy.
Texas.
Send your letters to-
It's Buddy.
I know. I'm from
Buddy,
Houston, buddy.
I'm sorry.
God,
So that was of course the big January football story. But then a month later, we had a great Super Bowl between New Orleans and Indianapolis. I was kind of rooting for Indy because I'm a huge Peyton Manning fan.
Mm-hmm.
I just think he's a class act, on his way
On
to
and
being
off the field.
the greatest
Yeah.
quarterback that ever played the game.
Who was at the
What?
halftime show
No,
this
I
year?
don't know about that.
Oh, this year, well, in 2011, it's going to be the Black Eyed Peas in Dallas.
Yeah, finally a change. But this year it was a little bit
Mormon
more of the
Tabernacle
same.
Choir?
Yeah, they usually have
Wasn't
the
it like
Who.
Bruce Springsteen?
Was it the
or-
Who?
Could be.
I think it was.
And it was just this last few years. It's kind of like, oh my God, another.
Yeah. They'll
group
have things like Paul McCartney,
that
Fleetwood
nobody-
Mac, The Who, all great artists in their own
Way
right.
back
Tom
when.
Petty was awesome.
Not
I thought
right.
that was great.
Well, again,
but-
I think that's more along the same
When did
lines.
Jessica
Yeah,
Simpson
it really
do it?
is.
She had to have done it right.
Oh,
Jessica Simpson.
please.
Anyway, the Saints.
Well, she
Back
shows
to
up and
sports.
everybody
The
loses.
Saints ended up winning the game, 31-17. It was actually closer than the score might indicate because there was Peyton Manning threw an interception at the end of the game and the Saints scored again. But it was a really great football game. So we had two title games in the early part of this year that were both really exciting. One outcome I was happy with, the other one not so much. But you can't root against the Saints either. So that's a good,
They
good
have,
feel-good
Kinda hard
they
to
story.
have
do
an
that right
upstairs
now.
connection, I
Feel-good
think.
story.
Right?
I know everyone here also has their favorite sport. So, why don't you guys shout out, not all at once, but
Football.
you love football too, Connie?
And the Steelers hand over the
Okay,
heart.
I'm going to
Oh, my
ignore
gosh.
Connie's right now.
I've kind of been getting into.
He does this to me all the time.
I've kind of been getting into mixed martial arts
I
lately.
know you have, and I
Yeah.
still haven't been able to. And part of the reason, and for the same reason I haven't been able to get into boxing ever, is because there's so much to keep track of.
Yeah.
Which I know sounds
I thought it
odd
was the
given.
Can I ask you a
Bloodletting.
question? When you say mixed martial arts, do you mean a sheriff from Asia who is biracial.
You know, I thought you were going to say something about like different kinds of fruit and vegetables or something. But.
Well, I know our engineer Jay and myself are huge tennis fans. Huge. And this was a really cool year for tennis because we started out with the Australian Open. Roger Federer won his 16th Grand Slam title, so he still holds the record. But then Rafael Nadal won the next 3. Mm-hmm. So he's catching up to him, and I think he's still behind 16-9, but winning 3 in a row, the French Open, Wimbledon, and the U.S. Open, and he's still a few years younger than Roger. I think he might catch him. So it was an exciting year for tennis. But also
quickly, which of the two do you prefer? Of Federer and Nadal?
I like them both, but I kind of like Rafa. I kind of hope he catches Federer. Who, nothing wrong with Roger Federer. He's also a classy guy, great player. But I like watching Rafael Nadal play. He's so exciting. He hits a lot of kind of fancy shots.
Yeah.
He's got those arms that I love.
Yeah, this wingspan.
I'm talking about
his
his guns. So I kind of like that.
But
and you know me, Alfonso, I'm a little partial
you.
to the Latin boys.
Yeah, and Federer, he's Swiss, isn't he?
He's a Swiss miss.
Yeah, so...
little bit of a dandy, just in the sense that Roger Federer kind of strikes me as one of those old school tennis players, like from the 20s, who come out and they're gentlemen. Rafael Nadal is an athlete. Anyway, they're both great. But on the women's side, Serena Williams captured a couple more Grand Slams to bring her total to 13. So she's doing really well. But we had a couple of really great stories in Grand Slam tennis for women. Also, Francesca Schiavone was a surprise winner at the French Open from Italy. And Kim Clijsters won the U.S. Open again, which is amazing because she came back and won it last year after 2 years off from maternity leave, came back to the U.S. Open, her first tournament, and won it, and then came back again this year and won it. So
that is
great
amazing.
Story.
Did she have a boy or girl?
Kim Clijsters? I don't keep track of that stuff. I don't know.
That's kind of the stuff I should be keeping track of.
Stuff I want to know.
There's no room in his head for
I do believe it was a little girl. I'm not positive.
That's Kourtney Kardashian, and I believe
unless it was a little boy.
You didn't ask Josh what his favorite sport is. I'm
going around the table.
Because I know it's the Coyotes and it's hockey. Is that right, Josh?
Josh,
I thought they were tennis too,
right?
weren't they?
So, yeah.
Josh does love his hockey, and this year in June, which, by the way, June is always kind of the busiest month in sports in terms of championships and big tournaments. The Chicago Blackhawks beat the Philadelphia Flyers in June, 4-2 to win the Stanley Cup. So I knew Josh could tell us all about that if we asked him.
It's not a real cup, Josh, just so you know.
Right.
Unfortunately, Josh, we don't have time for you to go into the intricate details of hockey for us.
I was all prepared today for this.
Oh. Get out of
I know that Alfonso is also a fan of college sports a lot. Pretty big.
I kind of am,
sports.
actually, yeah.
So we already talked about the BCS championship game, but one thing that I've been getting into the last 4 or 5 years in a big way, I mean, I've always followed it, but in recent years, is the College World Series. It is extremely exciting, and, of course, Alfonso and I went to Arizona State, and they always have a competitive
Go Devils.
team. They always have a competitive team. They make it to the World Series quite frequently. They didn't win it this year. This year it was South Carolina winning their first title, the Gamecocks.
The who?
Can't beat those Cocks.
Are we?
You just can't.
You have
I was
Alfonso
going to
many
say, are
times
we
from what
going
I
to let
understand.
that one go?
Well, I've never been to that. Well, I actually have been to that part of the country. Never mind.
What was really cool this year is that UCLA had a real good chance at winning both the softball and baseball World Series for NCAA because the UCLA women won their their 12th title this year. And then just a week later, it was the college baseball World Series where they lost the championship game to South Carolina. So that would have been really cool because, again, I'm a Pac-10 homer and I love all things Pac-10.
Buddy, do you know what I'm going to say? What my favorite sport is? Do you know what I'm going to say?
I'm afraid.
My favorite team is, everyone knows this now, it's the Butler basketball team.
Eric
good.
does
Isn't that a great
love
lead-in
Butler.
for you, too?
It is, because Butler had quite the Cinderella year this year. You can't really call
and Eric
Butler a
looks wonderful
Cinderella.
in a ball gown with glass slippers as well.
That would have been my
and
alma
it
mater had I
worked.
stayed there the full 4 years.
And he loves the Cinderella story.
Butler made it all the way. They've had a good team for 4 or 5 years, but this year they made it all the way to the championship game against Duke. I'm a Duke hater. But
One of these days,
actually,
you ought to learn to express your feelings, buddy.
and Butler almost won it. I think the final score was 61-59, and they had a chance to win it at the end, and they just came up short. So that's too bad for them. But I think, they're going to take a runner-up finish because this was a truly Cinderella story for them, and good for them. Butler, of course, in Eric's home state of Indiana.
What I really like from you, buddy, is you're so knowledgeable, and those of us that love sports but can't keep up with it can just listen to the show and hear you tell us what we can talk about around the water cooler. But if they really want to find out more, didn't you write about this? Because I see the magazine here. Didn't you write about you're in sports in the magazine? This
Yeah,
week?
and we're gonna cover that some more in a couple of our upcoming shows. But in the current Compete magazine, we have a rundown of what we did this year in the magazine and the sports that we covered, really focusing more on our community and things that our readers participate in and can really attach to a lot. So not so much the general sports world, which is what we're talking about right now. What I wanted to get in first, though, does anybody like golf? Because
No.
Connie?
My mother was a great golfer, but I never could.
I thought if anyone at this table liked golf, it would be you.
Yeah, and you have
Oh,
to remember
heavens,
that,
no.
I was glad it was banned in
I'm a
Finn as well.
musician. What can I say?
Connie's the resident straight lady here, buddy.
I know. That's true. Hey,
I do needlepoint.
a lot of women in their later years in life decide to switch
That's like
teams.
me.
It
I'm
happens
97,
often.
but I don't look a day over 80.
Okay, now I'm not a huge golf fan, but this was really a banner year. I don't know if I'd say a banner year, but a really unique year
Maybe a ribbon year.
in golf because you had, like tennis, golf has 4 Grand Slam tournaments, and this year there were 4 different winners from 4 different countries, and I don't know how long ago that happened the last time, but my favorite golfer, Phil Mickelson, won his 3rd Masters tournament in March.
Well, not only just because he's a good golfer, but because he's a really nice guy.
Yeah, he is. In June, Graham McDowell, who's from Northern Ireland, he won the U.S. Golf Championship, U.S. Open. The PGA Championship was won by Martin Keimer of Germany, and the British Open was won by South Africa's Louis Oosthuizen. I know that's
Easy
not
for
how you
to
say it, because I've heard some people say it, and it's not at all the way it's spelled.
You
and
see the one they say this is the new Tiger Woods? I saw something on Extra the other night, and they said there's a player that's going to be the new Tiger Woods.
I don't know who they're referring to because they're always looking for that new Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
And golf has sort of a similar problem. I've talked a lot about the Yankees and their connection with ESPN and the whole
Money.
The whole Major League Baseball organization puts so much stock in the Yankees and to a lesser degree the Red Sox that it's either you win with them or you lose. If the Yankees or Red Sox don't make it to the World Series, you're
You're
SOL.
Yep,
but if they
right.
do, I mean that's you're
It's a gamble.
Riding
You're-
high.
Big gamble.
Yeah.
wiping your butt with money. It's sort of similar in golf
But
because
I've always
What a
aspired
weekend I'm looking forward to.
Oh, my.
golf has put so much on Tiger Woods over the years because he is the greatest
He was
golfer
their
in the
big
game.
moneymaker.
Yeah.
And when he's not leading or in the hunt at a major tournament on the last day, nobody's watching.
Yeah.
So, and if he is, everybody's watching. So it's again, it's a real difficult
me, pull
situation.
you.
So golf has been looking for that one person who's going to take the mantle from Tiger Woods.
So do you think we'll see Tiger bounce back here in 2011, buddy, or do you think we're going to see?
Well, he went through 2010 without winning a title of any kind. I think he's going to come back and win. I don't know if he'll ever be at the level he was, simply because he's getting older and his game is maybe taking some hits. He'll come back. He'll win probably a couple more major tournaments.
How many green jackets can you wear, though? I mean, really.
Well, I have 6,
Oh.
but none of them are Masters jackets.
Some of them are plaid.
Actually, Alfonso, don't you call those pea coats? I heard you say that.
Yeah,
I know we're running out of
not
time.
those.
Those are navy.
We're running out of time, but real quick, I wanted to mention, the World Series, which was won by the Giants, San Francisco Giants, over the Texas Rangers, 4-1. So congratulations to them as well.
Coming up next in Sports Pop, butt dragging is not illegal.
It's not, but it probably should be. Yeah.
Stay with us, CompeteRadio.com, all your news, information, and archives. Also later in the show, Michael Holtz, 2010 Athlete of the Year. This is Compete Radio, and we'll be back in 2 minutes. Stay with us.
Compete Radio.
Nicely done.
Buddy, that was a great recap for the whole year. Now I feel like I can talk about sports. And
I know. It's like I know
really
what's going
good.
on now.
Everything is really rich and full. It's not even peak.
It was Yevgeny
Yeah.
Yevgeny,
who won
yeah.
the silver in the Olympics.
Yes.
Okay.
Not yet.
You might want
Because
to have
we don't
somebody
know.
Google that last name
I
just
think
to
we should.
double. Yevgeny Plishenko.
We need to confirm.
Plishenko. Is that what you said?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
It's still up in the air with them, so I want to make sure that
we can do something. It doesn't have to be that.
it's true. I was thinking after that, though, too, we could have everyone also meet us for the after party, like at a bar or something, and do some giveaways or
I
something
think
like
that's a good
that.
dimension.
And Tony would love to, like, coordinate that at the bar. 'Cause he's
Is
all
everybody
about-
going but me?
You're not going to
Or-
that?
or we have a Coyotes night coming up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought you were
Coyotes.
talking about the LA.
No, but pretty much yes.
Me too. I'll let you guys.
No. I trust you
Okay,
guys.
so we have about 2 minutes.
Do you guys have
Wait,
the
wait,
guest
wait,
list
wait,
for
wait,
that?
wait. Say that again.
Are you taping this?
What did he say?
Nothing.
Trust us.
He trusts us.
Nothing.
Buddy, what the hell happened to you?
It was a temporary. I think I'm having an aneurysm.
Yeah,
You're
things-
pleading temporary insanity, are you?
That was our Christmas gift.
Enjoy it. It expires on the
When's
26th.
Michael coming in? Not the segment, but
About 10 minutes.
That's a lot longer than the hour I expected.
okay.
That was a really great first opening.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was
Really
awesome.
sounds good.
Yeah.
You pulled it off really well, buddy, honestly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
On this,
Yeah, it sounds
And I
really
have to say,
well.
I really like it when it's brighter in the studio as opposed to the dim.
Because do you feel like you're on?
Well-
Yeah,
like on stage,
absolutely.
Connie, the gays need soft light though, and that's where.
Especially
Well,
as
me
fat-
too. When I'm 97, you know, I'm starting to show my
Connie,
wrinkles.
you don't look a day over 85.
We'll do something. Even
I
just
thought
that.
it was 80. Now you've ruined my
But we wanna
day,
connect it. We have the
buddy.
connection.
I'll say
real
Pro
quick.
sports are supporting us.
say
I'm
we're
probably
supporting
going to
the
do like
the
this first
Coyotes.
item, and it's
Log
probably
on to
just going to
Compete
take a
Radio
couple
for more
minutes.
information.
But
And then we can update that
once
as
we
we
get
know
into
what's
the
going
other
on then.
stuff, I'm
I'm
going
just
to try
gonna
to
partner
keep
with the coach
each
for a
one
gay
like
night.
under a minute because
Oh.
there's a couple honorable
For
mentions
gay
at
night?
the end.
For
Okay.
Compete get sports night.
Okay. And this is for segment 4.
Or whenever you want to get. Just make sure you get it in. Yeah. Second form, we talk
I'll
about
bring
coming
I'll
up.
bring him. Yeah, okay.
Looks like about 30 seconds coming up on, so everybody get ready. Get your headphones on.
Time being filmed also.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I thought. Okay.
Is this still right?
Well, yeah, I'm just
We're gonna-
looking at
it's
this
gonna be-
here. I mean, it's yeah.
Oh,
it's
it will
matching
be.
it perfectly.
Oh, maybe that's what
I
my
don't know when
question
how
was.
you
Yeah.
come in.
3
It
minutes.
might be, but it's going to be edited.
You come in 3 minutes? Oh, at 3 minutes. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
at
probably.
the
At least I
3
hope so.
minute
I
mark,
got makeup on
Okay,
now.
5 seconds, guys. Quiet.
Okay. Shh.
You're listening to Compete Radio.
Welcome back to the big show. Don't forget you can also listen to us on qnation.fm, gaytalkradio.org, and queerpublicradio.com. So,
You forgot the most important place, Josh.
Compete Radio.
CompeteRadio.com.
Yes, CompeteRadio.com. Speaking of CompeteRadio.com, log on, check out all the news information. Buddy, you actually covered quite a bit of material.
I deserve a medal for covering
Yes,
that much.
You do.
Jesus.
But if you want to catch up and you want to see exactly what we're talking about, log on to Compete Radio. Everything's on the website. It's your source for past shows, news, information, gossip, entertainment. Anything you need, sports is on Compete
And if
Radio.
you log in right now somewhere, can't we chat with them online, Josh?
Yeah, it's on Gay Talk Radio.
That's why Jay's computer's open.
Right. Log on now. You can chat with us live. We're twittering and chatting and
Having all sorts of fun.
That's
tweet hooting or whatever
that
you
sounds-
do.
Twitting, remember, it's called twitting.
Twitting. Okay.
it's tweeting.
We're in the works of a big deal here in the Phoenix metro area. We are going to partner with the Coyotes for one night for Compete Sports Game Night. So
Yay.
be sure to log on to CompeteRadio.com. We'll give you the up-to-the-minute details, of course, every week here on the show, but then also on CompeteRadio.com, we'll constantly be updating that post with exactly what's going on as soon as we work out all the details. Alfonso.
I finally get to talk.
Sports
oh my
Pop.
gosh, oh my
I know,
gosh.
it's your turn.
Yeah,
Yay.
okay.
And you
But
aren't
but
popping?
dragging is not illegal. I'm so confused.
Okay, well, first,
Sounds very dirty.
basically, I want to talk about some of the some of the bigger stories this year, and I kind of ranked them, some honorable mentions and, a 1 through 10. One of the bigger stories I think just came up this week, and before I get into that story, I'm going to explain exactly what the butt drag is. Now, this is a move that's used in wrestling. It's not something that's smiled upon.
It reminds me of my Chihuahua.
Yeah,
Needs
or
to be
or
wormed.
that carpet cleaning commercial where the kid says, "Look at the dog's new trick," and
Yes.
it's doing
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually nothing like that.
Okay.
There is this move where one wrestler, I guess, will cup their hand and basically, in an attempt to get a hold or an attempt to make it look like that's what they're doing, they'll basically dig into the other wrestler's rear. And
Yes,
it's
I'm
not
familiar.
Yeah,
They just have 110,000 new fans of the sport.
they don't spit on their hands first, buddy. And the singlet is still on. But it's basically intended to distract the other wrestler and help the other wrestler who
That-
kind of get an advantage
That
over
would be a distraction.
over their opponent. There's a similar move called checking the oil, which is exactly what it sounds like, and it involves a thumb. So I'll go ahead and get into this story. Hopefully now we're all up to speed on what butt dragging is.
I just thought that was at the end of the week when you were tired coming home from work.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with corsets, wigs, or high heels, or
Oh, darn.
putting on face. So the senior wrestler at Buchanan High School in Clovis, California, has had assault charges brought against him for using this particular move, the butt drag. And
Mercy.
he actually learned this move from his junior high wrestling coach.
Oh, joy.
So not only is this like a dirty, underhanded move, it was taught by his junior high school coach. It's kind of like accidentally, elbowing somebody in their nether region.
He was doing air quotes, by the way, for
Right.
those of you in audio land.
So
I wondered why you were wearing a "Please check my oil" T-shirt the other day, Alfonso.
that was a gift from you, remember? That was 2 Christmases ago. It was a free shirt you got from Manhunt. So Ross Rice, a freshman wrestler who claimed this move was used on him, he was the opponent that Preston was wrestling against in this. So we have Preston Hill, who is a senior, and we have Ross Rice, who is a freshman. And what had happened, what he's claiming, Ross Rice, what he's claiming is that this move was used on him in retaliation for standing up to Preston when he was bullying him. So Preston was bullying Rice. Rice stood up to him, and later on, I guess when they were sparring or in some kind of wrestling match, he felt as though he did this to him to retaliate for standing
Wow.
up to him.
I have one question, and this is the thing that sticks out to me the most. What is going to happen to this coach, this adult guy, touching these kids and checking their oil? I mean, this is not appropriate. I don't care what it's called.
Well, have you ever? I wrestled like 1 year when I was in high school, and I had a lot of fun. Anyway,
You didn't have this move
I
where
thought
you
I'd
wrestled
throw
for
that
2
in.
years.
But sometimes in wrestling, you're wearing a singlet, you're trying to get a hold on somebody, and the last thing in your mind is sex. It really is. You're
Right.
thinking about wrestling. You're thinking about how somebody wants to slam you to the ground, or you're thinking about how you want to slam the other guy to the ground. And
yeah, but I'm just wondering what the intentions of this coach may be.
the intentions of the coach is to win, sadly, at any cost.
But
Okay.
that's
And
the
I still-
society we've
That's how
set
sports
up. The only
works
thing
in a lot of
that-
places. Not everywhere, but in a lot.
I've been to a local leather bar that on Wednesdays has oil check night, and that cost is only $5.
Yeah,
today.
let me get on with my with.
We're
It's not
sending,
really-
we're sending the coach over to that
Let me
bar.
get on with this
Moving
because
on.
I still have a few other things I want to talk about. So the Fresno Bee reported that Preston crossed the line in the way he used this move. And I actually read this story on Queerty.com, and there were other wrestlers who commented saying that this move was really used by douchebags and jerks. and that's the only type of person they knew, these particular wrestlers knew of that used it. And
Sounds like a pickup line, actually.
yeah, so you can kind of get an idea of what this Preston Hill guy may or may not be like. The assault charges, onto that, since it is something that's kind of hard to prove, the way they'll have to go about trying to prove this in court is that his intent was to assault him in this way, that he had malicious intent in the way he used this wrestling move on this other freshman wrestler, Ross Rice. So
Okay.
So
well,
now-
keep us up to date on
Just
that.
9 more. We're waiting.
Well, no, there's quite a few more. So now all of our listeners out there know a wrestling term, the butt drag. So now I want to get on to some of the other stories. First, I want to talk about some honorable mentions. One of them was Joe Rogan's use of the F word, or faggot. Another item was that a study of British sports fans proved that they wouldn't have a problem with a gay professional athlete, which was kind of a big deal. Another one was the Pride House at the 2010 Vancouver Olympics. It was a pretty big deal that a worldwide major sports event had a Pride House. And another one, Johnny Weir and Evan Lysacek's mudslinging. I mean, that was such a big deal, I couldn't not mention that.
I want to read more about those, Josh.
ComputeRadio.com, I think, would have that information.
Oh,
That was good drama, though, for a
that
few
was
months.
Yeah.
so
That was
nice.
really good.
So I'm going to quickly go through this list, and then we can chat about them a little bit. Number 10, an Ottawa bookstore received a quote-unquote letter from Jesus in response to a Last Supper-esque setup scene in the Ottawa Wolves yearly calendar. And the Ottawa Wolves is a rugby team. They did a yearly calendar to raise money, and somebody was upset because there was a Last Supper scene. Number 9, Joe Monahan of the Canberra Raiders made his friend's dog perform oral
Don't
sex
even
on
go
him.
there. Let's go to number
Yeah.
8. Go to number
Actually,
8.
Go there, please.
Number 8.
Poor puppy.
Number 8's a big deal, and I'm actually surprised, buddy, you didn't mention this. Lena Lawless sued the LPGA and won for the right to golf. Initially, the LPGA had this rule that women had to be born as women in order to play on the LPGA. That rule has now been changed, and Lena Lawless, who is a male to female transgender person, can now golf within the rules. Number 7, a high school coach mooned his opposing team's fans. I think we remember that one.
That's really mature.
Let's
I
reenact
like
that right now in the studio. Can we do that?
Number 6,
Michael,
Number 6, Shaq dresses as a scurry drag queen for Halloween and performs Beautiful Nightmare. Appropriate.
I saw that photo.
Yeah,
I've seen worse
Yeah.
drag queens, too. I mean, come on.
He could have been Flip Wilson as Geraldine.
Flip Wilson was classy.
Number 5, Pat Tillman's brother Rich says Pat should have shot the other guys in his company when they fired on him on Real Time with Bill Maher this year. Number 4, Denzel's wife got smashed on the football field. Denzel Washington's wife, their son played football, and she got hit
That
near
was
the
good,
end zone.
Good times.
Number 3, Brett Favre's wiener makes the news. Yeah, and number 2, which was a really big deal to us, Martina Navratilova kicks cancer's butt and returns with plans to hike Mount Kilimanjaro. And the number 1 story, drumroll anyone? Mike Tyson admits he did the movie The Hangover so he could buy cocaine.
Bless his heart.
He's so sweet. Yes.
Yeah, is there anything you
role
guys
model.
thought maybe I should have
That list was
included?
awesome. I love it. I think it's going to go on Compete Radio.
Yeah, it's a great list.
No, really, actually, it was. You covered a lot, and I thought you had a nice mix of everything. I mean, the one in particular about the Jesus thing, I think really puts.
Well, what didn't the person who wrote the letter sign it as God?
Yeah, he signed it
Yeah.
at Jesus, which I personally
Oh,
think is blasphemy, but
Well, yeah, it
that's
is.
just me.
Flat out. I
What
mean-
jumps out at me with regard to your list is the Lana Lawless story,
Mm-hmm.
because this is a story that now continues. She's going to be on the tour in 2011, and I'm anxious to see how she does.
Yeah.
She's a pretty good golfer. I mean, she hasn't won major tournaments, but she's won a long drive championship. And so now
Poor word choice.
she.
Oh, no,
well,
it's
not
real.
my
Never
word
mind,
choice.
never mind,
It's
it's
the
real.
name of the tournament.
I can't wait to see what happens in 2011. It's going to be amazing.
Coming up next, Athlete of the Year 2010, Mr. Michael Holtz He's coming up next. Log on to CompeteRadio.com. News, information, past shows, and more. That's CompeteRadio.com. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Compete Radio.
Very nice.
Can someone grab him?
Yeah.
Connie, can you grab Michael?
Minutes
We're,
coming
like,
up.
we have
So
2
it's
minutes.
second,
It
22,
count-
57.
At 10 seconds, then it starts to count.
What did you think of my number one?
Oh, I
I was like, I thought
wow.
Martina was your number one.
It's
I'm like,
right
wait,
on the
what
button,
is he
so-
talking about?
When you added your
I
thing,
like this.
I
This
hit
is
it
good.
right and fade to black.
Your timing was good,
Yeah,
Alfonso, on
the
that.
timing's good.
Yeah.
You probably weren't even have to edit this at all.
I won't. I don't think so
so
now
far.
because everything's matched
Yay!
up. Oh, I need to move. Hold on. Toodles.
Toodles.
If you guys need me, I'll be right over here.
Where's Jay?
We have 2.5 minutes if you guys need to go do
It would
anything.
take me that long to get out of the studio.
Something
Ben,
refresh
can
you.
I get some highlights?
If you need to check your oil,
I need some highlights.
check Connie's
Hold
oil.
on, I need to get down on the floor and drag myself.
No. Ben,
That was a
because I
really good
shifting
list,
like here,
actually.
90
Yeah,
degrees.
it was a
you can
good,
get some more, like,
These were all stories I talked about.
Yeah. But it was a
very
good
important. The engineer.
that?
Who is that guy?
You're right over here.
I thought I recognized him All right. Oh, do we don't have headphones for Michael?
Here's yours.
Okay. All right.
Do you need
I
the,
hope, well, actually, you know what? Do me a favor and that's going to be your mic.
Oh, I'm
We're gonna
sorry.
Try to keep it right here.
Okay.
Okay.
And then if you can scoot over a little bit, just so. Actually, I'm going to move
Closer.
right here. Just a little bit. You just got to be right in front of the mic and just be about that far away. So we can measure so.
Yeah, Josh, don't say Compete Magazine. It's Compete Sports Media Athlete of the Year. It's okay. I mean, I probably sent an email to you for that.
I know you did.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's
No,
the most title.
there's more than that actually.
It'll change before the end of the show. I'll let you know what the new name is.
Yeah.
We'll probably have another title by the time.
Oh
It
dear.
doesn't seem like everybody's in here, but they are.
We'll have a new enterprise. Yeah.
So it's Compete Sports Media Athlete of the Year.
Yeah.
Okay.
1 minute.
All right. Okay.
I'll make that
Michael,
correction
you
when
are
we come back.
here. So go ahead and just talk. Say
Test. Hello.
hi. Keep going.
Too loud.
No,
you're
fine.
No,
good.
he'll
It's
fix
gonna
it.
sound kind of loud in the headphones, but go ahead. Say, I'm Michael Holtz.
I'm Michael Holtz, Athlete of the Year, 26, 5.
Please do this profile.
Buddy has convinced me that I am 26, but I'm 25, but I will be 26.
But and you told me, you're like I'm going to be 26 this month. So.
Me too. I've been 26 for several months.
We have 20 seconds.
My mom was 29 for 21 years, so.
Hello.
Say
Test. Hi.
That's perfect.
Hola.
Here we go.
Try to
Put these
elaborate
guys
as
on.
much as you can on the questions and everything.
Go ahead and put these on.
Okay. I'll start and then you'll take over.
All right.
You're listening to Compete Radio.
Welcome back to the big show. Go to CompeteRadio.com for news, hot topics, show archives, and more. We're here. He's here. He's in the studio. Michael Holtz. And I'm sorry, corporate office contacted me during the break. It is Compete Sports Media Athlete of the Year. I believe I made an error and I said Compete Magazine. So just to correct that, Michael Holtz, Compete Sports Media Athlete of the Year 2010. Michael, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
We are honored that you're here joining us live in person in the studio. What did you feel whenever you were named Athlete of the Year?
I felt a lot of different things. I felt absolutely just so excited that I got to carry this title for a lot of different reasons. Representing our community in this aspect has always been something that I've been very passionate about. And the ability to take, two of my passions and be recognized about this for this award has been, it's been very emotional, and it's been very, very exciting to kind of tell my story and receive a lot of different positive comments about, what it is I've been trying to do and where I'm going with it. So it's just been really good that I've been able to kind of touch our community, especially in the sports aspect, because that is something that I've been doing my whole entire life.
We have so many questions
But
for you today, Mike.
you know what, Josh? I could recreate the sound that came from the other end of the phone when I told Michael that he had been selected.
Was this a high pitched sound? Just out of curiosity.
It wasn't
Take
high.
the headphones
Was
off.
it?
No, it was just very loud.
All right. Okay.
Michael was the
He
first
was a
person
drum
to ever
major,
call
so you
3
gotta be
times
allowed to be a
to
drum
the
major.
office and ask if he won. So I will
Here
say
we
that.
go, buddy. Okay, do it for us.
Oh, I don't think you want me to. It's my turn.
Oh no!
No,
Just roll away from the microphone and
Here we go.
It might be more high pitched than I.
Okay.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm too-
You're a professional.
just something along those lines.
I was the only one in the office, so I needed to.
Oh, I thought there was another girl in there with you.
Well, shit, that
Not
was-
another girl, a girl.
Yeah, there was one girl, but I don't think she really understood.
That's the same sound that Josh made yesterday when I brought sub sandwiches back.
I know. Where did you go again? Where was that?
Silver
Silver
Mine.
Mine.
Silverman.
subs.
Oh my God, best
Yes.
ever.
You get that excited over sandwiches?
You
I don't
have
get
no
it
idea
either.
what he does for
It had
other
cheese
things.
on it.
No, Starbucks.
It was that kind of sandwich.
Starbucks is a different story.
I want to say for everybody out there in Radio Land that we're filming a pilot today. Josh, can we talk about that for just a quick second?
Yeah, we have cameras flying around and lights everywhere. It's about 200 degrees in here right now. But
That's
yeah,
true.
we are actually we're filming the show visually, and we're hoping in one way or another to get ourselves on the air very soon.
So we'll be, but you can see our Athlete of the Year online at CompeteRadio.com. So if you want to see who we're talking to, go to CompeteRadio.com and you can see Michael, and more
Oh,
importantly, you can see me.
forget it. Get
But-
the magazine and see the photo shoot.
That's why we had to be clear with Compete Sports Media, because now we're a radio magazine, and now we have a TV show coming up. So we want to be on the lookout for that.
So sorry, corporate office. Please do not send me a pink slip.
Okay, so I want to say, if you haven't seen the issue with Michael and Compete magazine yet, you really have to go pick it up because it's really
Beautiful
brilliant.
cover.
It's brilliant, and I want to say special thanks to Buddy for such a great article. But I took this magazine around this weekend, and I wanted to show it to people to see what they thought, and I heard comments like "beautiful body," "amazing," "eyes," "gorgeous," and then I asked them what they thought of the magazine cover, and no,
Oh, I
honestly,
get it. He's
What
implying
about
they
the
were talking about
article?
him.
Awesome. So we have a lot of questions for you, Michael. So let's just get started and get right into it because everyone wants to know. So my first question is when you go swimming for fun, do you prefer Speedos or board shorts?
Speedos, totally.
Really?
And that's what our listeners said they prefer you to wear also. So quite the perfect match there. Actually, is there style involved in picking a swimsuit, or does it all function?
I would say it all functions. I mean, I have quite the Speedo collection.
I believe that.
Yep.
And they're on eBay right now if anybody wants to buy one. No, but no,
joking.
that's awesome because what people may not know is that you're a swimmer, right?
Yeah.
So you're Athlete of the Year, and you really are an athlete.
So yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny because I've been wearing Speedo since I've been like 6 years old. So a lot of people have always asked me like, how do you feel so comfortable in a Speedo? It looks like second nature to you. And I'm just like, I've been going around in Speedo since I've been, able to walk.
Actually, didn't your mother say that you came out of utero wearing a Speedo?
That's what people actually do say that. And my youngest brother, he kind of used to joke about me, when I was younger, that, Michael's always running around in those banana hammocks.
No complaints here.
I do want to say I wore Speedo once, but my stomach actually covered the entire swimsuit, so they asked me
my
not to wear it
gosh.
again. Okay. Okay, so Greg Louganis said, this is a quote now, did you read it in the magazine? So that must be very flattering. Greg Louganis said about you, he is very committed, young, energetic man, and a wonderful role model for what is good in the GLBT community, in sports and awareness. He said all about you, Michael, so I think that's a huge compliment. He did not comment on me whatsoever. With that seems like a huge endorsement. So do you wake up every morning and go, wow, I'm doing all these great things for the community and I'm this great role model, or you just get up and those things just come to you? That's just how you live your life.
It's kind of something second nature to me. I always do things that I love and that I believe in, and I believe in our community, and I believe in, the type of work that Greg Louganis has done, just being out there, being who he is. He's done so much for our community, and to get some kind of recognition from him like that is just icing on the cake. I mean, I don't look for that. I mean, I just get up and kind of do my day as, things that make me happy.
When you're in passion, isn't life easier? Josh, like with you on the radio, life is easy because you love doing it, and I'm sure it's the same thing for you, Michael, with what you do. So,
and for those of you who don't know, Greg Louganis is the one who nominated Michael for Athlete of the Year.
Really?
So
No, I didn't know that.
That really speaks
I didn't know
to-
that either.
We're all. Connie has secrets. She has the inside information.
We'll talk later.
So it all comes from the top, right, Michael, and it trickles down. So that's awesome. So which is more of your passion, the community, the sports, or is it just combining it is what really makes it special?
It's really combining the two that really make it special, I think. I think that when I was younger and I kind of was having questions about my identity and who I was as a person, I really had time to focus in on my sport and be disciplined about it and be up and in the morning at 5 o'clock in the morning and really focusing on my sport. But as I kind of grew into, the human being, the man that I've become, the swimming kind of slowly started to dissipate towards the end of my career, and I really started to make a positive impact and a difference in the LGBT community. So I think it was really kind of ending one chapter and merging it into another. So I think it's been a really great kind of segue into two things that I really enjoy doing.
Now, I want to let the audience know that typically the segment that I run is about a 10-minute segment, but today we're going to overrun. We're going to come back after the break for everyone to ask Michael questions.
Oh, absolutely.
So if you don't feel like we're going to get it all in this segment, don't worry. We're going to have Michael over till the end of the show now.
Oh, yeah.
So I want everyone to know. And I'm passionate, too. I get up at 5 a.m. every morning to get my mixed skillet burrito and my hash brown.
Yes.
That's something I know it's going to be there no matter what happens, so I kind of get
Hey,
you.
as long as you're passionate about something and you're doing that, that's great.
I'm going to ask you a question really fast, even though this isn't about you, buddy, and you have like 30 seconds to answer it.
Sure.
Tell everybody who Bo Jackson is.
Bo Jackson is a former football and baseball player from the University of Auburn. We've talked about Auburn a lot recently. But he's one of the few guys who played both professional football and professional baseball concurrently. When one season would end, he would go play the other. And he's just an amazing all-around athlete. Played in the 80s and somewhat in the 90s.
And the reason I asked Buddy about that is because I want our listeners to know who he is, because that's actually who Michael said was his most admired athlete. So I wanted to give you all a little bit of background on Bo Jackson. But what do you admire about? Because you didn't pick a Greg Louganis, you didn't pick a gay sports star, which is great. But tell us what you really admired about Bo.
What I admire about him is that he is obviously amazing in his sport. He's been focused. He's been disciplined. He's played 2 professional sports. Not only has he done that, but he grew up and was a professional athlete in the time where he overcame diversity as well as being an African American. And he is just kind of, I've met him once very briefly, and he's just such a humble, positive energy, really personable person that has obviously, hits all sides of the spectrum. He's a professional athlete in 2 sports, not 1. He, has overcome these, diversity, him being an African American, and he's just a really kind of humble, down to earth, great guy, I think. And he's just
I actually
done
admire
so
you
much.
picking a traditional athlete. It would have been fine if you would have picked a gay athlete, but part of what we like to see in the Athlete of the Year is looking beyond just the GLBT community, and because that's how you bridge it. You don't bridge it by just staying within your community. You bridge it by stepping outside your community, which
absolutely
you did
right.
really
Yeah.
right. So I'm going to ask you one question before we go to break. This is the last question before break. Your cover has attracted so much attention.
Oh, my.
I even looked at it, which is incredible. I'm just kidding.
This
It's great.
is a gorgeous cover.
In fact, this is probably our most popular issue ever. And I have an email. So we've been getting emails and calls about you ever since it came out. But I have an email from
we've
Casey.
actually had to add another phone line here at the office
We actually
because
did,
we're getting so
seriously.
many calls.
So I have an email here. It's from Casey Bowman of Washington, D.C. Say hi to Casey for us.
Hi, Casey.
Casey wants to know, how long does it take you to get ready for work? Do you roll out of bed and just a one answer question? How long does it take you to get ready in the morning?
I'm quick. Really, I'm very quick.
Well, say hi to Casey and then let's turn it back to Josh.
Hi, Casey.
Okay, I want to know more about this question. So I think we...
He wants to hear
Well,
about the
can I just say
process.
one thing real quick?
Sure.
Yeah.
I usually roll out of bed to go to the gym before I go to work.
Oh, of course you do.
We'll elaborate a little more with Michael Holtz. Which,
And the rolling. We'll talk about the rolling.
just tuned in, Michael Holtz, he is Compete Sports Media Athlete of the Year for 2010. We'll follow up on that question when we come back from break. Don't forget, log on to CompeteRadio.com for news, information, show archives, and more. This is Compete Radio. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Compete Radio.
Wow, that's like right on the money on that. Yeah. Sweet.
How long is this
Did
break?
everything sound okay to you guys?
Yeah,
How long?
Nobody was like too loud or anything. I was trying to just go
3
by
minutes.
Your answers are awesome.
You're doing really well.
You're
Yeah.
natural at it.
Well, he's done other.
You know who's gonna hook this into their show? Is I talked to Derek and Romaine, and they're gonna direct people to the.
That's awesome.
I mean, if you guys want them to.
Oh yeah, no. But
Is this
do.
so? This hits at 4.
It'll be next week.
Okay.
And we need to talk about his party.
This is December 17th.
yeah, recorded this
today.
week.
Oh, okay.
Remember, let's
Let's talk about-
remember to anything we discuss. We need to refer to tonight's event as happening in the past.
Wait, so don't talk.
Remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So you said we had a great event. for him
Did
at
I
Cherry
say
Bar last-
something?
No.
Okay.
At the end of the show, say we had a great event for Michael at Cherry Bar last week. Tonight Sunday night we're gonna be at the Cisco Home, and then if a lucky winner wants to go, to email you, and you'll try to hook them up with tickets.
Or you can give a Facebook. It's on my Facebook.
Cisco Home,
Yeah.
and this is in LA.
ISCO.
And the Compete crew's gonna be there.
And okay.
sending a photographer.
Hold on. So this is Sunday.
The 19th. Michael's birthday. Michael's 26th birthday. It's a birthday party for Michael, and it's a
You're
celebration.
really
of the year.
26.
I'm gonna be.
You're going to be okay.
What an
Nice.
awesome
Woo!
birthday.
I know.
That's the only day available. I'm doing it the other day.
Yeah.
Promise.
Oh my gosh, is that a cake? Is that a picture of me? Oh my gosh, I'm so surprised.
okay.
Do you mean the picture I sent you? You
Guys,
actually put it on
guys,
the cake?
okay, hold on. So if people want to attend, is there a fee to get inside?
No, but a suggested donation, $10 to Quality California. But it's like open bar, 3 hours open bar.
Holy
Donations,
moly.
okay, open bar.
That's worth more than 10.
Tell him to go to Compete Radio, check out details, because you don't want 110,000 people going to his Facebook page, right? Because
I don't know. Do you?
Stalkers.
Yeah,
Oh,
you,
this
you
is-
do need
this is
to
your
be
personal-
careful.
You experience it all day.
Yeah.
Tell him to go to the. We'll hook him up. We may put a link to his Facebook page
For
on
more
our website.
details, go to. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I just needed to make sure I got that.
We do most of our planning during the show.
Ad hoc.
Bring it.
We're very quick on our feet. Not literally.
You're fast. We're quick.
Gay.com.
What's that?
The gay.com article that they wrote.
Uh-huh.
But 2 things I think that was really cool that they wrote about was kind of my family and like
Yeah.
my dad. Did you guys see that part?
Yeah, I did.
I did not see it.
I saw it, but I don't know if I recall what it. Oh. So, are you going to take over from now? Or do you want me to finish my questions, Josh?
I'll bring us back, and then I'm going to go to you. I'm going to ask you to repeat the email, and then so you can elaborate on that. Yeah, because we had like 30 seconds for him, so I'd like to give him some more time.
Y'all have a question you want to ask too?
Sure, I always have questions.
Oh dear.
No. It's
All right, guys, music's coming up real quick.
3 seconds.
You're listening to Compete Radio.
Welcome back to the big show. It's December 17th, 2010. Don't forget, log on to CompeteRadio.com. Everything you need regarding our show is there. I'd like to mention, last week, Cherry Bar here in Phoenix, we had an amazing time with you. So thank you for attending. We all had a really good time. Now, Sunday, the 19th, which is your birthday, by the way, you'll be 26, so happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
Yes.
Cisco Home in LA, it's going to be Sunday the 19th. There's going to be an event there, which you'll also be attending.
So will we? All the entire team.
Yeah.
Well, almost the entire team will be there.
Yes, everyone, everyone from Compete will also be there as well. So it's kind of a meet all of us type of event. But I think the best part, aside from you being there, of course, Michael, is the open bar for 3 hours. I mean, who could pass that up? So that is Cisco Home. That's going to be in LA Sunday the 19th. Event with Michael, and then also a lot of the Compete staff will be there. So now, we got cut off. Those commercials got in the way. But you had a question for Michael. It was an email, actually.
I did. We had an email, but I do want to say that as far as the open bar, I did already talk to Alfonso, and I did ask him to pass that up. So if you're asking for somebody to pass up the open bar, I hope that's Alfonso. just FYI.
Trust me, it's better this way.
You can find those details on your website, right?
Yep, CompeteRadio.com.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, Michael. And I kind of got tongue twisted asking the question because Josh was going, cut it short, and then I forgot what I said. So I kind of twisted it around. We have gotten lots of emails, and most of them, we had a few straight men that said they would go out with you.
Really?
Straight men that said they would
They
go out
need
with you.
wingmen.
Anyway, but I have an email here from Casey, and Casey's asking you, how long does it take you to get ready in the morning for work? In other words, how much time do you spend in front of the mirror? So you can just tell us about the gym, what you do if you want.
Man.
Well, I usually don't get ready right when I get out of bed. I just roll out of bed literally into the car to the gym.
In Speedos, right?
Yeah.
Does your hair do this naturally, or do you have to?
Actually, for real, I really just... A lot of people are like, how does your hair just stay like that? And
They asked me the same question.
No, they say, why does your hair stay like that?
No, it really does.
I wish we had fun on this show. Darn.
Is that your natural hair color, Michael?
It gets a little help sometimes.
There a little
but
bit
It's
of,
the
little bit of
chlorine
sun
in the
in.
pool.
So it's like you have big treatment, so it's quicker in the morning, right? So it's like you have your once a month help, so it's easier in the morning.
I wouldn't say that, but I also use hair product, but
Now, I did get another email, and the email went on and on about you, gushing about how handsome you were and how much they liked you and how much they want to spend time with you and how much they want to be around you. But rather than me read it, I'm just going to let Buddy tell you what the email he sent me.
I'm funny. I did want to talk to Michael right now a little bit more about why he was chosen by our judges as Athlete of the Year. Michael, in addition to just being a swimmer and very photogenic, there was a lot of really great things that he's done over the last few years with respect to blending his sport with activism and fundraising. And this year, for example, in his work with Equality California, which is his day job, he produced this really unique, amazing fundraiser called Swim for Equality. And I wanted to give Michael an opportunity to tell our listeners about that.
Yeah, it's actually really awesome because I began with this idea when I was living in London. I swam the English Channel for my bank. And so basically this year I launched the first Swim for Equality on the West Coast for Equality California. It involved 52 swimmers from six different states. What was amazingly unique about it is that you had this it was this unique fundraiser that was a positive, healthy alternative for individuals to raise money for the LGBT community. It didn't just involve gay men. It was gay men, lesbians, straight couples. There were straight couples holding hands running across the finish line. We had 52 swimmers, again, across 6 states. Greg Louganis, who is an four-time Olympic gold medalist in diving. A lot of people think, oh, he's a diver, he can swim.
Right.
Not the case. To swim 2 miles, that really is a call to action.
There's a glowing review right there.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a real call to action for these people who got up, they trained for it, they swam in it, and they raised $2,000 a piece. So it was a really unique campaign that engaged lots of different people from not only the state of California, and it raised, the goal was $100,000 for 50 swimmers. The event raised a little bit over $150,000. So,
incredible.
yeah, it was a great first year event, and we're looking to develop and expand that next year. And it was a really great experience to just be involved with so many different passionate individuals that, everybody was like-minded because everybody had a passion for swimming or diving or any other sport. So it just really brought together a community. It brought together people who donated things for the event. It brought together people who, wanted to get out and train and form a team.
Michael, I see your passion here. This is so exciting. I can feel it. If you can't feel it, then you're not turn the radio up because there's a lot going on there. I do want to say that you really inspired me. I used to be an athlete. I played college baseball. I played amateur rugby. I did some other fun things with some people here in the office. But you've inspired us. What we're going to do is we're going to watch the English
We're letting
Channel.
that go.
There's a BBC
English
special later
Channel.
on this afternoon that we're going to watch. So
Really?
you've inspired, your swimming the English Channel inspired us all here to watch the English Channel. So tune into
And
BBC.
and because it's so special, we will watch it in HD.
There you go.
I thought you said I had to watch The English Patient, and I did. That's what kept me up half the night.
Yeah, that was a 12-hour movie.
Oh man.
I know that everyone has something for you. Alfonso, do you have something I know you share with us what you want to share with Michael?
I had a question. I was actually wanting to ask you a little bit more about swimming the English Channel because that's one that's really difficult, and anybody swimming the English Channel is a really big deal. So, what was that like?
Well, it was absolutely insane. I'm not a distance swimmer. I wasn't an open water swimmer by nature, but
Which is very different from
right,
pool swimming.
completely. It was actually it was kind of separating a chapter in my life where I was so intensely involved in swimming indoors. I tore my rotator cuff, which led to the end of my swimming career when I was living in New York. I moved to London, and I kind of separated myself from that regiment of always in the pool. And I had some time to really kind of, think about things and set other goals. And so, there was a challenge at hand, and it was to represent the corporation, the bank that I was working for, and to support various nonprofits. So it was a less pressured environment. It was for a good cause. So, I said, why not? This would be a great way to kind of utilize my old passion of swimming and having it go towards a good cause. We started at 2:30 in the morning. In pure darkness. It took 9 hours and 56 minutes.
And I'm sure that was ice cold water.
Yes.
Yeah.
No wetsuit, no lard. There were 6 swimmers. Each swimmer was accompanied by a boat. So it was definitely more than a physical.
There's a lot of mental aspects.
There's a lot
as
of
well.
mental involved.
Right.
Now, friends are always asking why I keep lard in a wetsuit in my trunk, and I tell them because I might want to swim the English Channel, but they don't quite buy.
If they would have handed me lard, I'm like, am I supposed to use this on my
Would you
refried
have made
beans?
tortillas?
I have one last question for you,
Yeah.
Michael, here. We've had a lot of fun with you, by the way. You're a fun person, but also there's a lot of serious things going on in your life,
Thanks.
which Buddy unfortunately reminded us of. Anyway.
Sorry.
Poor buddy. Sorry.
Wah, wah.
Where do you see? I mean, you're already so accomplished. Like, what do you like? Okay, now I swim the English Channel. What next? I'm gonna fly to Mars. I mean, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I want to keep continuing doing work for the LGBT community. I think that this award is really setting me up for, I really want to kind of create a personality that has a positive influence on the LGBT community, under the sports community and entertainment community. Just continuing touching lives and helping out with the community. Who knows? I mean, I'm producing an event with the NBA Clippers in February. I'd love to do some work with the Olympics someday. I think it's endless.
Well, I know that we're not done hearing from you. I think I'm sure we're going to be working with you on projects in the future. I have a quick props to Sid Ziegler at Outsports for nominating, or for giving Michael a great letter.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to quickly also mention John Skalicki, our photographer,
Great
who did
guy.
an amazing
Yes.
job.
Oh.
on that photo
Phenomenal
shoot.
job. If you guys haven't
Thank
seen
you,
these
Michael.
photos,
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, these photos are gorgeous. But yeah, I mean, really, thank you so much. We are truly honored you're joining us here. You came all the way to Phoenix, and we're really enjoying having you here. You're a pleasure. And we look forward to this Sunday. We'll be coming to LA to see you. We look forward to hanging out with you there. Is there anything, just real quickly, that
I was just going to say, and he's kept the bar high for our Athlete of the Year.
He
Each
has.
year, we
Yeah.
managed to have our judges select just an amazing individual, and the bar continues to just stay.
It's an open bar high. by the way.
You can tell we have a lot of fun here, but there's a lot of serious stuff underneath this, and you really represent the best of that. And so thank you so much for
Thank
all of
you.
us, both straight and gay, because this is an important mission for all of us.
Yeah, and I also want to thank our judges, Eric
welcome.
Carlisle, who is one of them, also Doria Biddle from Sirius Out Q, Ben Cohen, who is the rugby player. We also had Chad Allen, as well as
Blake Skellerup.
that's the other one, Olympic speed skater.
Well, Michael, I'm sure you have a lot of people in your life that are very proud of you.
Come back really soon.
We're honored, and you're more than welcome to come back and join us anytime. Everybody listening, log on to CompeteRadio.com. All the news, information, show archives, anything you could imagine is on CompeteRadio.com. It's better than Google. CompeteRadio.com. Thanks so much for listening, and we will see you next time.
See you later.
Bye.
Compete Radio. Log on to CompeteRadio.com.